Namaste, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Premananda Spagat, and I haven't been broadcasting a live show in a while, and I wanted to touch base with everybody to let you know what was going on and also give a warning because I've been sick and pass on my newly found wisdom so others of you in the summer won't get sick. I haven't done this before. I haven't touched base like this other than normal openings to shows, so today is going to be a special episode. And you notice you're not looking at my face because I'm sitting here on the couch relaxing in the heat. My hair is all messed up, and I just don't want anyone to see me. So I basically have been dehydrating myself on a daily basis, totally messed up my health. Living was just impossible. And had I kept going, I probably would have ended up in the hospital in another month or so. No joke. So I wanted to send out a warning for all of you not to do the same thing. Before I get going, I'm using the new headset. It seems a little sensitive to me. I'm not so sure how to make it less so, but hopefully the volume is okay, which is really the most important thing here. So, anyways, let's go back in time because I have had a whirlwind of 3 weeks of horrible life. Oh, and that's an understatement. So, about 3 weeks ago, a little more than that, really, at this point, I woke up one morning and I couldn't hear out of one of my ears. And this started about, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago when I used to live in New York in the summer, once or twice. If it got really hot, and this doesn't happen every year, one of my ear canals fills up with earwax. And it fills up so much that within 24 hours, I lose all hearing in that ear. Completely, it's just full. And normally throughout the year, this doesn't happen. This might happen once a year, maybe not every year. And it just hits me one day. And it takes days and days and days to clear out my ear. I literally lose all hearing in that ear. And the ear canal is a little smaller than my other ear. For example, we keep a fan in our bedroom for the white noise aspect when we're asleep. If I covered my good ear, I couldn't hear the fan. I literally have no hearing. And that's a little anxiety inducing. And I miss things around me, and I'm talking louder or mumbling more or something. It's very aggravating. So all week I was like that. And the earwax is putting pressure on both sides of my ear, and it actually hurts like an earache all day long. My ear's in pain. I can't hear anything. I have anxiety moments at night where I'd roll on my good ear and all of a sudden I can't hear anything and I'm like I will like be waking up. It was very very frustrating. So I was zonked on sleep. And I'm an insomniac anyways. It'll take me an hour or two to get to sleep. And it's been like that for since the day I was born. Anyways, this happened on a Saturday. By Thursday, my ear was basically 99% back. And a friend of mine was in town. He's the lead singer of the band Kashmir, the Led Zeppelin tribute live show. So I went out to lunch with him and his wife, and I spent the day they were performing. Kashmir was, so I spent the day backstage at the venue, and then was met all the band, including Felix Hanneman from Zebra, Paul Cooper, who's played with Bob Hope, and their guitar player, who's done a bunch of cover stuff, Kevin, and it was just really awesome. And I got to see them, and then after the show, Gene and I were signing books because we wrote a book together, In the Shadow of the Gods, history, or it's his memoir of working in a Led Zeppelin tribute band and his musical career. So we were doing a book signing after the show, and it was really great. But it was from noon to I didn't get home till like 11:30. Long day, and it was hot. I don't know what's happening this year. It's in the news. I haven't been paying attention, but we're hitting a heat wave, and oh, yeah, uh, so hot. And I'm telling them, Gene, it's like, no, this is Maine. It's supposed to be cold up here. This is really horrible. So the next morning, I was really dehydrated because everything was off hanging out with Gene and Kashmir. So I woke up, went back to bed, threw up. It was a wreck, but I thought I'd go to work, so I walked to work, threw up on the way, threw up 5 times over 3 hours that I was at work. Because throwing up is what happens when I get dehydrated, which makes no sense. And I couldn't eat or drink anything. If I take a Tylenol, I throw that up. So I'm dehydrated, but I can't drink water. I couldn't even have a cup of coffee, and then if I don't have one cup of coffee a day, I'm afraid of getting a migraine from the caffeine, and it's like so frustrating. No breakfast, and I can't go without breakfast. So I went to work 3 hours. I'm like running back and forth to the bathroom. I'm just falling apart. I was like, screw it, I'm going home. I came straight home, went right to bed. I didn't move till 5 o'clock when I could finally eat. Oh, the day was totally destroyed. And so then the next day, I'd now gone basically 2 days with insufficient food and water. So it was then like being not dehydrated, hungover, but without the alcohol. But this was a dehydration hangover. Oh God, it was so bad. Excuse me, I'm still coughing. We'll get to that part of the story. Um, so Saturday was shot. I postponed a live show. Ended up doing it on Sunday, but it takes a few days to recover from when I'm dehydrated because I've got my body's just. Anyways, 1 week, no sleep, day of dehydration, big activity with this band, and I don't go out much, so this was a big thing. Hungover from that, and then my girlfriend changed her work schedule. She went from working in the mornings from 7 to 3 to in the evenings 1 to 9. She's the lead pie maker at a local bakery. And so, excuse me, I'm going to cough again. Also, that's why there's no video. I don't want you to see me coughing. Hearing me is bad enough, but you don't want to see this. Um, so, we're marathon runners. If you listen to the show, you know that. And marathon runners, well, my girlfriend might wake up at 4 o'clock and go running 20 miles. I don't, because I like sleep, but because she goes to bed early, I always go to bed early with her, and then we both just get up early. So, well, we can't do that now. So we changed our sleep times from 8 to after 9. But because she started this new position, she's training. So one night I get a text. Don't know when I'll be home. Some point, hopefully. 11:30. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm trying hard to stay awake." And then, like the next morning, she had to go to the old position to train the new person. So she gets home at 11:30, has to be at the new job at 7, or the old job at 7. So our sleeping was just going bonkers. When you change your schedule that dramatically from going to bed at 8 o'clock, I think I forgot to mention that. We go to bed at 8, lights off at 9. Now it's closer to midnight. That messes you up. And I was off on sleeping anyways. And when I can't sleep, she often can't sleep. When you're sleeping in the same bed, that happens. Anyways, that week is kind of a rough beginning. The weather got really hot, so we put in air conditioners. And this is the interesting part of the story that I didn't know, and my quasi armchair medical advice for the rest of you dealing with hot water, it's not hot water, heat and hot air and whatever, and humidity in the summer or anywhere in the world. So we put in the air conditioner in our bedroom, sealed off our bedroom. It's like a freezer in there. It's just like, oh, it's awesome. You walk in the living room, couple fans, drenched in sweat, go into the bedroom, and it's like, oh yeah, this is really great. We put it in. First night, she started coughing. Coughing, coughing. We'd actually gone to bed early because we were both zonked. I think we were up till 1 o'clock. She didn't stop coughing for 3 hours. Oh shit. And it takes me, 1 to 2 hours to fall asleep. So then you fall asleep at 3, you get up at 6. Oh, like, oh God, I ain't ever gonna sleep again. The next night, and she didn't cough during the day, she said. It just started when we were in bed. The next night, I started coughing. And she was coughing. Oh, you're kidding me. What the hell? We both were coughing. Only in our bedroom at night, going to bed. Not in the kitchen, not at work, not in the living room, not outside, just in the bedroom. Oh, what the heck? Of course, the first thought was the bug. But my thought was, I don't know about that. I don't think if you catch this Chinese virus, I don't want to say the word because of YouTube, it only affects you at night in your bedroom. That's not how things work. If I have a virus, it doesn't affect me only when I'm in the vicinity of airplanes. You know what I mean? So I knew it wasn't the bug, but I didn't know what it was. And I got online, I'm kind of Googling because we were up like 2, 3 nights coughing. And I discovered, this is the interesting thing, that when you seal up a room and you have an air conditioner, it creates dry air. Well, I am very sensitive to dry air. I had GERD a few years ago. Oh, it was horrible. I was coughing every few seconds, all day, every day. It was just horrible. And I solved it. But since then, whenever I lay on my back, most of the time I kind of build up phlegm in my throat rather quickly. And there are times where I'll be in bed and I'll swallow, and immediately the phlegm's back. I'm just like, oh God, I gotta swallow again. So every 30 seconds, I'm swallowing, and it drives me crazy, and I can't sleep. So I sleep on my side or my stomach or whatever a lot of the time, and then it's fine. But that's because of the GERD. It never happened before I had the GERD, and I'm sure there's damage to my throat from smoking for 10 years when I was in college. Anyways, if you're swallowing phlegm all the time, and you find yourself now coughing in extra dry air, and we hadn't used the humidifier in a while, your throat is trash in the morning. Think of Wolverine, his claws. I felt like he'd ripped my throat apart. I was just like, oh my God. And I couldn't speak. And so what would happen is after a few days of this, my throat was trashed. I'd go to work, I'd be talking to people eventually like this, and then I'd start coughing again. And now you're exhausted. And I already was tired. And oh shit. Well, I'll tell you how I discovered this dry air thing. So one night I'm just coughing. It's like night 3. She's coughing. I'm coughing. What the? What's going on? We can't sleep. I came out in the living room to get a drink, and I didn't really cough so much. And we have a curtain that blocks the rooms because we don't want to. We want the cats to be able to get through, and they can't get through a door, obviously. So we have a curtain, and I went back into the bedroom, and I accidentally left the curtain somewhat open, and I noticed that my coughing stopped, and so did hers. Literally, it just sort of went from coughing, 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 to like cough, cough, cough. It's like, oh, so that's when I went and Googled room's air conditioner, and I found that you can insulate your room to your detriment. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So it was like, oh my gosh. So we pulled out our humidifier. We keep the curtain open a little bit, and it really helped. Her coughing pretty much stopped within like 2 nights. Mine didn't. So the weekend came. I'm coughing a little bit. It's like, okay, whatever, we'll get done with this. It's the GERD, it's the whatever. I go to work on Monday. Oh, no, sorry. Um, I was run down. Monday, I took off. Myself, my girlfriend, and my coworker went and saw Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. And so I decided to take the day off. It was an outdoor venue, getting to see them. I think it was the final show of their current tour before they went off to Canada. J.P. McPherson opened up a rockabilly group with Reverend Horton Heat's former drummer. It was really cool. It was really great to see it. His voice, Robert Plant's voice, is as good as ever. He's better than some of his peers who are younger than him. I'm not going to name names, but he's just great. The music was interesting, though. He's reinterpreted everything, and he'd start playing something, and you wouldn't recognize the song. And I don't know any of the stuff he's recorded with Allison. So it was just this weird thing on one level, but it was great seeing Robert, who's iconic. And I felt fine. It was great. Ironically, my coworker had a case of heat stroke and almost passed out. It was during the break during the two bands, and she almost fell over, and so we took care of her. Uh, she'd had a beer and no water, and had been working in the yard all day, and literally she's 60 something, and just about fell over into the mud. And so we got home at 11:30 and went to bed, and we had a few coughs, but we were so tired we just fell asleep. Next morning I had off from work, and guess who had heat stroke again? Take two in 2 weeks. So I was like, oh God. I was in bed all day. No food, no drink, no water. Makes no sense. But hey, that's how your body copes when it's dehydrated and has heat stroke. You can't get what you need. It just makes no sense. So I'm laying on my bed all day long in the air conditioner, feeling like crap again, and coughing because here I am in that air conditioner, and even though the room wasn't sealed, I'm still affected. And I find when I get the heat stroke, I kind of have to lay on my back. Any other position doesn't work. So I'm laying on my back, and I'm coughing more, and the phlegm. Oh God, it was just miserable, miserable. It's like this is not fun. Um, I'd take an Advil, I would throw that up in 30 seconds, so I couldn't take anything. Oh, it was just sorry, it was just absolutely horrible. Anyways, next day, go to work. Day after the heat stroke. I gotta say something about this heat stroke. It only started about a year and a half to 2 years ago for me. Growing up, I would have 4 cups of coffee in a day, not worry about it. I'd do stuff. I'd work in theaters all day long doing, hanging lights when I was in college. I'd go to class. I never ate or drank. I don't know how I survived. Um, Up until a few years ago, I'm in my mid 40s, suddenly I was thrown overboard. Like I had a beer, I'm suddenly down, And I discovered this once when I was in a hot environment, hadn't drank that much, had a beer, and threw up 12 times that night. And then I put it together with another event that happened about the same time, and it was heat related, and it's really interesting. It just happened, your body changes. It's not fun. It's not exciting, and it never changes for the better. But you got to work with it, and then you learn new things. And now I'm much more aware of heat stroke and drinking and uh, normal drinks and coffee and how they affect me. And if I'm not eating, it's just like, oh, it's I'm tied to a water bottle now these days. And when I'm running, when I'm doing my marathon training, I'm really good about it. But right now, I'm not training. I have a couple months off, so I'm not as drinking as much. I'm not keeping myself hydrated quite as much, because I'm not going out for a 12-mile run today. So I'm a little off. And anyways, it's very interesting how you get old. So, anyways, saw Robert Plant had dehydration. Wednesday, go back to work, and it was just it was things just got worse. So you figure, as I said, you have a case of dehydration. The next day, you have that dehydration hangover where you're just hungry and thirsty. You're trying to get back in shape. I went into work. I'm not great, but I'm kind of functioning. I'm doing, basically all right. I walk in. By noon, I have a headache. I'm coughing like a maniac. I'm just like, this is how I'm talking now, a rough voice. I'm like like Rod Stewart singing. I was just like, oh God, and my eyes, I couldn't look at the computer. I have a lazy eye. So when I get really tired, my lazy eye kicks in and then everything kind of goes out of focus. So the computer was making me feel blah and oh, it's just like, oh God, there goes this. Yeah, that's how I felt. I was just kind of shuffling around and trying not to interact with anybody. I needed to back up. I had walked to work. So in Maine for the last few weeks, it's been stupid hot, like 80 degrees almost every day. Over 80 degrees, which is really rare for us. I don't remember a summer it's been this hot, and it's been humid. You would think living 5 blocks or 10 blocks max from the ocean there would be a breeze, but no, it's been humid and thick and uncomfortable, and it's probably like I'm in Arizona or Colorado or something. It's just not like Maine. So I walk to work a mile every day, and I get into work and I'm sweating to death. Like I'm drenched. And so I got into work Wednesday. I'm kind of feeling out of it, hungover, drenched, sit down at my desk. I have 2 fans that just pour on me, so I get them going. And I sit near a Xerox machine, which puts off a little heat. So, I got this whole thing. So I'm there, and I just, by the end of the day, I was a train wreck. I left at 5 instead of 5:30. I came right home. I could barely function. I just literally was mentally gone. Went into my bedroom, laid down, and that was it. I didn't stand up again. I was done. That was every day for the past, well, last Wednesday or whatever. I'm losing track of dates now, honestly. Every day I'd walk to work, drenched, get in my office, sit in my fans, within a few hours, have a migraine, be out of it, blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't be able to talk, wouldn't be able to function, would be coughing up a storm, would be on the verge of throwing up, would barely be able to make it home another mile, drenched in sweat again, maybe take a shower, crawl into bed, and that would be it. Every night. I could, it was so bad. Like, if I'm in bed, I couldn't even read a book. I was just like, I can't. To look at my phone, it was just, no, I couldn't. My eyes were dead every night. I couldn't function. I couldn't think. I just was out of it. I was so gone. And I was really struggling because we had one more show. Wouldn't you know, I never go to concerts, but we had 3 shows in a row. And I really wanted to go, and we were like, oh, I can't make, I, 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 I think I can do this. Anyways, it was Reverend Horton Heat with the Delta Bombers opening up Rockabilly Band, and Rockabilly is what I play, and I love Rockabilly, and I really want to see them. So we're like, I'm going to do anything I can to get better. I just need to get through this. I don't care. I was a train wreck every day. I seriously was a train wreck. We went and saw Reverend Horton Heat. Coughed my way through it, but we sat up in the balcony. You also got to understand that I would come home, I would get into bed, I would lay there, but I wouldn't sleep, and I wouldn't sleep at night, and I would cough all night, and my girlfriend would be awake, and I would be awake, so I was constantly sweating, exhausted, out of my mind. My eyes were killing me. I was throwing up. I was coughing. I couldn't talk. I was absolutely shutting down. Like I couldn't function. But we get to Reverend Heat, got my water. I'm not going to sit there without one. I had the best time. It was so inspiring. He's just a phenomenal player, and I love Chimbo Wallace, the bass player, and oh, I can't rave about it. I'm so glad I went, even though I was like a train wreck. It just was mentally stimulating and just musically inspiring. So much so that I bought a bass amp this morning. Fender Rumble for any bass players out there. I already own one. This is a smaller one for the house. Anyways, it was Friday night. I was like, I don't care. Tomorrow I'm just going to be whatever. I spent the Saturday on the couch, barely functioning. I watched an hour of TV and I was done. That's all I could do. I couldn't look at my computer screen, even to check my email. I was like, screw it, I don't care. I got an hour. I watched the new Star Trek Brave New Worlds with Captain Pike. Oh, so good. Season 2 is better than season 1. I watched that. I'm like, this is so good. I'm now going to die. Uh, and I just sit here and read a couple books, and that was it. It was so bad. Sunday, oh, and I was drenched in sweat because I'm in the living room and we just have a couple fans. It was just not fun. Anyways, Sunday, I wake up feeling kind of better, feeling a little bit better. Ah, can life return to me, please? I kind of did. Felt a little better. Took some Robitussin. Man, that stuff makes you sleep like nobody's business. Oh my god. Wow. It works better than the Valerian route I used to sleep with. That just, that's intense. And it rests my throat. So Monday, I go to work. I'd actually managed to get one night of sleep in. My throat felt a little better. The sleep, though, not having sleep just makes everything worse. So I wasn't talking to anybody. It was like, I'm not going to talk to people because when I do, I cough. So there's no sign language and staying in my office. So I get in my office. It's so hot again, 80 degrees. I hate this heat. And I'm sitting in there, got the fans. By 11:30 Monday, I had a migraine. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to do all the stuff I've already listed. And I just wanted to cry because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have started to feel better yesterday. Saturday was kind of workable, and here I am worse than I was on Friday. Oh, you're kidding me. I had a migraine, and so when I get dehydrated, sometimes I get this feeling on my skin. It doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes it's this. It I can't describe it. It feels like I'm turning into a reptile because my skin just it gets dry. And you read about this in ultra marathoners. You can you can uh, grab your skin and it loses some of its elasticity if you've been running too much and you're not hydrating correctly. It's just a really easy way of seeing it, and it kind of and that's what it felt like. It felt like my skin was just stiff. So I knew immediately I'm getting dehydrated. It's noon. I've had half a liter of water, a cup of coffee, cup of tea. Sorry, 2 cups of coffee. Uh, I'd eaten my lunch already, 2 breakfasts, and a bowl of ice cream. We had ice cream at work, so took advantage of it. And I was starving. I was so thirsty, and I was going to throw up in any minute. And I had the migraine from hell, worse than I had. I was like, oh, you're, oh. So, and I was just like, I'm going, this is not, I'm not a happy camper. Like, the weekend was good, and now I'm done. 3 o'clock, I had a meeting with clients at 3:30, so I know I had to get through the day, but I thought maybe I just leave early because I'm done. I'm gonna have to go back home and go to bed. And this thought came to me. Why? I don't know. It just came to me. So I got onto Googled, and there it was, instantly what I was thinking. So, remember that medical advice I told you at the beginning? Well, here's the second bit of it. And this is a miracle that I discovered this. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. And I'd probably be putting myself closer and closer to ending up in the hospital. So, I did not know. And I'm talking to a lot of people out there, and my girlfriend didn't know this, but others I've talked to did. Sitting in front of fans cools you down. Obviously, we know that. But in muggy environments, which it's been, extremely hot environments, when you're a little bit older, when you're prone to dehydration, which I am, and when you're in an enclosed environment, the fans, after a while, stop cooling you down and start to dehydrate you. They create that dry air, just like the air conditioner. I didn't know that. I had no clue. Oh my god. So what I'd been doing every day, going to work, sweating to death, and I was sitting in my office with an air conditioner directly above me, 2 fans hitting me, my window closed, and my door is closed, and my office is probably, I don't know, 8, 10 feet, maybe 12 feet by like 6 feet. It's big enough for two desks. I was literally every day dehydrating myself, crawling home, and then sitting in my bedroom with the air conditioner, dehydrating myself, and not leaving that room, being in there from 6 o'clock till 8 the next morning. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's what was wrong. Except for the weekend when I would sit in the living room, my body was in a state of constant dehydration, on top of lack of sleep. My throat wasn't getting better. And I read that and went, "You're kidding me. You're fucking kidding me. Holy gee." So you know what I did? I shut both the fans off. And I'm still warm, but whatever. Shut both fans off. Within a half hour, my migraine was completely gone that I'd had since 11:30. I had enough energy, so by the time I left at 5:30 instead of 4 or 5, I was bouncing. I had not my coughing had stopped. So for the last bit of my day, I didn't cough that much. I didn't want to throw up. My eyes were fine. I could look at my computer. My health went right back to where it had been and better. Oh my God. So I was killing myself. I was literally destroying myself. So that was Monday. I'm recording this show on Saturday. So every day I go into work now, sweat to death going in, just suffer. Don't turn the fans on. I actually put one away. I just sit there, just deal with it, and knock myself out with Robitussin at night. And every day I've gotten better and better, and I sleep really well actually. Last night I didn't wake up once. I didn't wake up once, and I've coughed maybe 3 times today, and it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. My girlfriend, I don't know if she's recouped her sleep because what was happening all week is I would take some Robitussin, have a big coughing fit, get knocked out, and then she'd wake up like once at 3 o'clock or something, cough for a bit. But oh my God, it was amazing. And I gotta say, I forgot to say this. Saturday a week ago, my coughing. So this is after Reverend Horton Heat. My coughing was so bad that I would go into the bathroom, not coughing in my girlfriend's face, and I would just go in there and I'd cough, and then when I felt better, I would then come out and go back to bed. I was in the bathroom 20 minutes at a time. Let me just wait 30 seconds. Okay, all right, let's see. Am I gonna go? And I'd stop coughing again. I did literally 20 minutes. I was like, I should get a book. I made her so much. I'd come back, sit on the bed, crawl on the bed. 5 minutes later, I'll back in the bathroom. I spent about a third of my night in the bathroom coughing. I was miserable. So, this discovery on Monday, oh my gosh, you can hear me now. Yes, I've coughed a little bit in the show, and I'm actually going to cough right now. Excuse me. I have some water here too. Um, to be able to talk like this for what has it been, a 30 minutes I've been going on, is so amazing. And today I went out to the music store, bought myself an amp. I was playing my bass the other night. We could watch TV. I can't tell you what it's like to feel good after the last few weeks. Excuse me. But I was literally thinking, fans will make me feel better. But common sense, science don't always go on the same plane. I was literally killing myself with dehydration. And had I not figured this out on Monday, and again, I don't know why the thought came to me. I just thought to myself, maybe the fans, maybe there's something with the fans. And it was. I was, if in years past it hasn't been like this, and so that's why I have two fans at work. We've had breezes. It's not been as warm. I've been able to have two fans, but this summer has just been horrible. It's been let's see, the air of death is how Napoleon described 115 degrees when he marched from Alexandria to Cairo. Uh, yeah, I got it. This is the air of death. And up here in Maine, Yeah, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not what a stereotypical Maine life is like. So, yeah, it's been really tough. And to do the few things I did, we went and saw also the new Indiana Jones film. Really liked it. I actually really enjoyed it. It's Indiana, what do you expect? It was a little long in some places. Um, and I just don't like Phoebe. I don't think she's a good actress. And I don't like her writing from the things I've seen of hers. Um, Including No Time to Die, which was my least favorite Bond film due to the script. We were able to see that. I coughed my way through half of it though, but interestingly, that and Horton Heat were not in enclosed spaces. So we're like, okay, let's risk it. Let's do these things, not realizing that by going to the movie theater, seeing Horton Heat in a big, theater, um, seeing Robert Plant outside while we're going into those going, oh, we can do this. I can suffer through it. I was actually putting myself into good places, and those were probably the few times that I actually was giving myself a break, which is kind of ironic, you know. Sorry. This is a lot of talking, and I'm gonna wrap the show up right now. Anyways, I've been a train wreck beyond train wreck. I have not been talking to people. I've not been communicating with folks. I have barely been functioning. Um, it's so bad. I'll tell you, one day at work, the day after Bang Kashmir was in, and I had the heat stroke. We're up on the fourth floor. The ride up on the elevator that morning made me want to throw up. Just the movement of the elevator, and that's not a lot of movement. Went to my office, decided to go into the basement to rearrange some files because the basement's really cool. I went down the elevator, out into the it's walk through where the public can go. Instead of then going into the basement, I walked straight out the back door of the building, turned the corner to the parking lot, and threw up in the grass. That was how bad it was. Went down into the basement then for an hour, and then shuffled around, and then went upstairs, and like, oh god, oh god. Interestingly, that hour in the basement was the best of the 3 hours because why? I was, yes, being physical, but I didn't cough that much because I didn't have the fans on me. So finally, after an hour, I went up to my office where now I'm sitting in front of the fans. And so for the next 2 hours, I threw up, let's see, 4 times. So it's really ironic. I was doing things where I felt better, and that was what and where I needed to be. And those are probably the little moments that kept me going through the last 2 weeks. But it's been misery. I obviously haven't been doing live shows. It just has been impossible. But I am back, and I wanted to share this kind of awkward, odd, long, rambling episode because I didn't know that this modern technology could kill you, figuratively speaking. And had I not discovered this, I probably would be in the hospital by September, having spent all of a very warm August dehydrating myself daily. So I don't know what miracle was there, but I'm back. Um, we're gonna be doing some more shows. We got stuff planned. I, saw things in the news while I was sick. I wanted to talk about. I'm like, oh, I can't. But I'm back, and the show's gonna come back now, and I am alive. And I wanted to warn all of you: if you're coughing and you're hacking, maybe this is it. And I have coworkers who I find are coughing and hacking, and I'm wondering if it's because they're in these tight air conditioned rooms, these little offices with doors closed, and you get into your car and whatever. I don't know. But it threw me for a loop to discover this. So I'm alive. For those of you listening to the show and want to know where is he, what happened, he was doing so well. I am here. We'll be back. I will be doing the shows in the afternoon like this or in the evenings now that my girlfriend is working late. Shows will be broadcasting. I will not be announcing them first. We're just going to be going out right now. I don't really have any broadcast schedule. Also, Rumble is now up to track, just like the BitChute Anchor podcast on Spotify. That's now got
everything. So if you don't want to watch on YouTube a day later, you can check out these live shows on these other platforms. So, yeah, that's it. I'm alive. I am here. I have felt horrible because I was dehydrating, and I want to warn you not to do the same thing. Also, see Reverend Horton Heat in concert. He's awesome. Check out my book, In the Shadow of the Gods, with Gene Violet of Kashmir, if you want to know about life in a rock and roll tribute band. And also, Robert Plant is cool at however old he is. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to this show. Next week, we'll go back, or sometime this week, we'll catch up where we are and talk about some new things. Trying new things and new topics on this channel all the time, and a little bit of religious stuff, a little bit of social stuff, a little bit of this and that, whatever lights my fancy. Next episode, 50 episodes since starting at the end of December. So thank you for joining me in these 50 episodes and my prolonged absences. And hope you are well. And I will catch you next time. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Sharanam Mamaha. Wow, it's been weeks since I've said that. I forgot. So, my apologies. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.